They give us leaders we can depend on. Taking the initiative, being a good teammate, sacrificing personal glory for the greater good. These are qualities we expect of our leaders, and they're all being cultivated in the high schools right here in South Dakota. Question: so where will we find tomorrow's leaders? Answer: high school sports.
This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Hi, I'm Tim Wrench, and I'm seeking personal injury cases. If you've been injured because someone else did something wrong, call me up. I'm a trial lawyer. I've tried criminal and civil cases for decades, and I can use all of that experience to help you. I also know this, that when insurance companies know that you're represented by a trial lawyer, they take your claim more seriously, and if it is to be settled, it's settled better with a trial lawyer. Wrench Law, 605-341-1111, wrenchlaw.com.
Ever dreamed of building something amazing? Builders First Source in Rapid City, Spearfish, and Hot Springs is your go-to building materials partner. Whether you're building new or giving new life to an old space, we provide step-by-step guidance from drafting and cabinetry design to lifelike visualization and top-quality materials. It's your vision, and we're here to make it real. Visit BLDR.com. Builders First Source, your Black Hills partner in building every step of the way.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM. Fox Sports Rapid City. You need to know.
NFL media reports that Arizona Cardinals first-round rookie defensive lineman Walter Nolan III sustained a calf injury today that will likely knock him out of most or all of training camp. In Major League Baseball right now, the Los Angeles Dodgers and Minnesota Twins remain tied at 1. In the bottom of the seventh inning, Shohei Ohtani has homered in his fifth consecutive game. He now leads the majors with 37. Dodgers pitcher Tyler Glasnow with 12 strikeouts in 7 innings. Also right now, the Milwaukee Brewers have a 10-2 lead at Seattle as they head to the bottom of the ninth inning. Earlier, Rafael Devers hit 2 home runs in San Francisco's 9-3 victory at Atlanta. Justin Verlander got the victory, his first of the season. He'd started out 0-8. The New York Mets over the Angels 6-3 to sweep their 3-game series at Citi Field. I'm Isaac Lowenkron.
It's time for South Dakota's Sports Talk Show. This is the Nate Brown Show, featuring live callers, great interviews, and thought-provoking sports talk. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, welcome in. It's a great day in South Dakota. You can always say that, right? A little warm. Again, I understand. It's always a great day in South Dakota. It's summer. It is South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Back and ready. We are live on Fox Sports Radio. Welcome in, the Nate Brown Show. Glad to have you on board. And what a Wednesday show you have chosen. We got a great guest lineup. I mean, we try and work through great guests every night, try and put together a lineup from high school to college to the pros. You may not be interested in every single guest, but we don't record things and play them back or try and give you new stuff each time out. And we got a great guest lineup tonight. Really, really good stuff. So let's get popping. Welcome in on Fox Sports Radio. Also stream us on X at Nate Brown Show. Follow us and watch us live there at Nate Brown Show. Welcome in on X. And then YouTube is live. I just got asked today at lunch, you have a YouTube channel, right? I mean, that's amazing. I've made it. I've finally made it. YouTube, yes, The Nate Brown Show. You can watch us live there, and the archive shows. The Nate Brown Show on YouTube. Subscribe. You've got us. And let's get going tonight on Fox Sports Radio. Let's look at the guest lineup. We'll get going with Mark Gronowski, the South Dakota State legend, now in his year with Iowa. Everybody's got a spotlight on Gronowski. We talked to Mark all last season on this program about the Jacks season. We got a weekly update, and Mark Gronowski has been so kind to us as he's transitioned and transferred to Iowa. He's going to come on tonight. Iowa Media Days now at Big Ten Media Days in Las Vegas. So big expectations. The spotlight is bright. Mark Gronowski's coming off of shoulder surgery. So a lot to discuss here. We've got him tonight. Hawkeyes quarterback Mark Gronowski on live. He'll get the show started straight ahead. Also, this is a big one. She's been on a lot of big shows. We got her on a couple of months ago before this book came out. And now this book, whether you want to believe it or not, is number 2 on the New York Times bestseller list. It's On Her Game, the Caitlin Clark story. It's from Christine Brennan, and she's live tonight. So this book has been selling like crazy. Really well done. Christine Brennan, best-selling author of On Her Game, Caitlin Clark, and the Revolution in Women's Sports. Christine Brennan coming up, talking about the launch of her book, now a New York Times bestseller right off the bat. We're going to go to Ohio State tonight. Speaking of the Big Ten, we're going to stay in the Big Ten. Ohio State beat writer Joey Kaufman's in tonight. There's big news out of Ohio State football with South Dakota's Lincoln Kienholz. And Joey Kaufman's the Buckeyes beat writer for the Columbus Dispatch. He's live coming up. And finally, Husker talk with Jake Sorensen from 93.7 The Ticket out of Lincoln. So a lot of Big Ten stuff today. I didn't just plan that. We got it lined up nonstop. Gronowski on tonight, Huskers tonight, Buckeyes and Lincoln Kienholz tonight. So good stuff. And Christine Brennan coming up as well. So a packed Wednesday show, so we got a lot to get to with the guests. Let's get you on if you want in. 605-720-1067. 605-720-1067. That is the Pizza Ranch Studio hotline. Also, the Barron's Wilson text line ready to go. 605-720-1067. That's how you can text the show. The Barron's Wilson text line for you, 605-720-1067. So you got it. We're locked. We're ready to go. Okay, let me start with a college football story. And I just want to get the pulse of where this fan base is at. Since we're talking a lot of Big Ten football today, I want to get the pulse of where this fan base is actually at, and then what we think about this guy saying this. So going on in Las Vegas this week, I told you, Big Ten Media Days, and so everybody gets to interview the coaches and some of the selected players. One of the players that went to Big Ten Media Days was Dylan Raiola for the Huskers. And so this is a big year for Husker football. And let me line this out. You Husker fans, you tell me if I'm wrong. Third year for Matt Rule, so you're thinking this is the big year. This is the transition where Matt Rule has taken programs from okay or bad to really, really good. Temple, Baylor. So this is the type of football program that you're going to see here now is Huskers are going to take a big stride in year number 3 with Matt Rule. Now you've got year number 2 with Dylan Raiola. This is the highly touted, the highest-ranked quarterback prospect you've had at Nebraska. This guy was the number 1 ranked QB, right? Went to Ohio State first and transferring around, Georgia transferring around. Ends up at Nebraska, has the Raiola connection. So Dylan Raiola's second year for the Huskers, you would expect big strides here. So I'm going to ask you Husker fans, do you expect Nebraska to go from really they've struggled? I mean, they really have. They were competitive in games last year, but they've really struggled. This has been a long road. It's well documented. But we're getting set now for fall camp. We're getting set for football in a month. They're going to line it up and play it out. Do you think the Huskers will take those big strides? Because Dylan Raiola said that just yesterday. And so he's getting some heat on social media, which that's the place to get heat, believe me. I'm even a nice guy, and I get heat on social media. Matt Kearney, just a great guy. He doesn't get any heat, right? So Dylan Raiola was asked, what are his expectations for the Huskers this season? What are his expectations for the Huskers this season? So I'm asking you, the fans, that. What do you think Dylan Raiola, the QB for the Huskers, said yesterday? National championship. National championship. What are your expectations for the Huskers this season? National championship. That's Dylan Raiola. What's your read on that comment? And what percentage of Husker fans think national championship when I start a Husker segment? I'm just asking to be nice. I'm serious. That's my question of the day today. Dylan Raiola says national championship. That's the expectations for the Huskers. Getting back on the map. What are Husker fans' expectations? Thanks for calling. You're live tonight. Let's get you on. You go ahead.
Hey, Nate, it's Kelly, living in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. How are you, my friend?
Kelly, what's up, buddy?
You know what? I'm awesome. I listen to your show all the time. I didn't pick up the kids today, so I actually have a conversation with you.
Okay, I'm ready.
You know what? Hey, congratulations on the show and the family and everything else. Nate, you deserve it. I love your show, everything else. But you know me with Nebraska. You know what? They can say that all day long. They're going to be 4th or 5th or 6th because they can't beat Minnesota. They're not going to beat anybody else. I mean, hell, Colorado, if they played them again, the new quarterback at Colorado probably beat them. So I love Nebraska's just their opportunity to say, we're going to be great, but for the last 25 years, Nate, they've done nothing, and this year doesn't even think they're going to be any better because every other school's gotten better.
Wow.
It is what it is. But thank you, sir.
Okay, thanks, Kelly. I appreciate that. Kelly, off the top rope. I didn't expect that, Kelly. I mean, you're a nice guy. Off the top rope for the Huskers today. He said they're not going to be any better. No, Kelly, that's why I'm starting the show with it today. The expectations for the Huskers is like way better than what it has been for years, for the past decade. Is this the year that the Huskers actually have real expectations, not just drinking the Kool-Aid that Scott Frost was selling or whatever? I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm saying actually everybody does expect the Huskers. I've even had national guys on. Hey, I think Nebraska takes some strides. 8 wins, 8, 9 wins. I've heard from some national guys that are well respected in the college football landscape. And then you got the QB Dylan Raiola saying yesterday, what are your expectations for the season? National championship. I don't know what to tell you other than I'm okay with my QB saying that. I know he's going to get blasted, and Husker haters are going to say, well, this is crazy. Nebraska's not Ohio State, Georgia, Alabama, Texas. No, Nebraska's not there. Dylan Raiola's trying to say, well, I mean, what else do you want him to say? I don't know what you want him to say. So he says national championship. What percentage of Husker fans actually think that? That's a very difficult question of the day today. Thanks for calling. You're live, and you go ahead.
Well, you said it for me, Nate. What was he supposed to say? Oh, golly gee, Bob, I hope I win 8 games.
6 games. Bowl game.
I hope.
So you're okay with it?
I'm okay with it. Jiminy Crickets, he should be playing if he didn't want to win a championship.
Okay, so let me ask you then, what are your expectations this year?
Anything less than 10 wins would be a disappointment, and I'll tell you why. I heard all this Mr. Vacation Raiola all over the country. Now you're on your second year. If you're all that, you should be something.
Okay.
And Matt Rule, come on. I don't know why you would brag up Temple. I mean, but Baylor, this is your 3rd year. You blew it in the NFL. So anything less than 10 wins, I don't care if they're ugly wins, Nate.
You want 10. Okay, that's a big number, man. Appreciate you getting on. Thanks for calling in.
Oh, yeah.
605-720-1067 is our number. Anything less than 10, a disappointment. That's Husker Steve. That's Husker Steve making an appearance on the program. Kelly, Husker hater. No, is that fair, Kelly? That's not that's not fair, is it? National championship. I thought that was interesting. I don't think you've ever had anybody in the Huskers say that for how long. That's why it makes headlines today. You haven't heard anybody say that with the Huskers in that building for how long? I mean, and so he's trying to elevate it. Dylan Raiola saying expectations for this year, national championship. That's the bar that's been set. Matt Rule said yesterday this wasn't a good job. He was referencing Scott Frost's statement, but it is now. He said this job is a good job now. So the Huskers turning the corner. What percentage of Husker fans think like their QB Dylan Raiola is thinking at a national championship level? By the way, I've done this show now for a while. The Husker people out there have said Nebraska, some people have said Nebraska will never get back in the national championship conversation. This isn't the Tom Osborne days. That's over. I've been told that on this show. They'll never get back in that conversation. Well, Dylan Raiola's trying to get them back in that. I'm okay with it. I don't know if Dylan's going to be top tier or talent or not. They said he was. He was good at times last year and then iffy. But you got to have all the pieces, right? You got to have the pieces in place. Has Matt Rule put the pieces in place? Is Dylan Raiola like the real deal? We're starting, I think you're going to be able to find out a little bit here in a month as the season starts. Sophomore year, is this guy the real deal? He's trying to say the program should be on the map. He says, we're bringing this program back, not because of me, but what everybody's doing here. National championship. That's the expectations. What percentage of Husker fans actually think that? 605-720-1067 on the Nate Brown Show. Listener text coming in. The Huskers need to win 8 games. That's a success. The Huskers need to win 8 games. That's a success. Listener text coming in. I am a Husker fan, but I don't buy into hype. If he was number 1 quarterback at Ohio State and Georgia, then what's he doing at Nebraska? Oh, boy. Listener text, 9 wins. That'll put us in a great spot. Okay, what else here? What percentage of you Husker fans actually think you could win a national championship? That's what I want to know. Do you think Husker fans are drinking the Kool-Aid? I love Husker fans. You guys are as passionate as it gets, but I think there's been a lot of realistic fans, at least on this show. I get a lot of texts that come in, the Husker, I mean, they'll be fine. I mean, you're even getting it right now. 8 wins, 9 wins. Well, that's not national championship. That's an unbelievable improvement from where they've been. Let's see. 49% of the people voting say 0 Husker fans think national championship. 49% of my audience tonight says 0 Husker fans actually think they can win the national championship. So half of my audience thinks you Husker fans are realistic. There's 0 of you thinking you win a national championship. 38% of the audience says there is a small group of fans that think they can win a national championship. And then 14% of my audience says there's a lot of Husker fans that actually think that. So I think that's a fair assessment. That's not bad. People are saying there's not too many Husker fans that think they're going to win a national championship. But I don't mind Dylan Raiola saying that, starting with that, because what else are we doing here? If we're just playing for kicks, what else are we doing here? I mean, Nebraska has to put themselves, here's the real story to me. As the college football playoff expands, if they go 4 automatic qualifiers in the Big Ten, let's just say that, 4 automatic qualifiers, Nebraska has to put themselves in position to be there. That's what I'm saying. So it's going to, there's going to be some opportunities coming up, Husker fans, and I'm serious. If there's 4 out of the Big Ten, can you be one of those 4? And to me, Nebraska football should be in that mix every year. That's the real story. this year might not be national championship. I hate to break it to you. But if the college football playoff expands and the 4 automatic qualifiers is the story, there's no reason they can't be in there. Listener text one more. I'm a Husker fan. I agree with Husker Steve. 9 to 10 wins is the goal. 9 to 10 wins is the goal. All right. Okay. Listener text. Raiola overrated. Raiola overrated. We'll find out. Year 2 for Raiola. Year 3 for Matt Rule. Husker quarterback says expectations, national championship. We've never heard that out of Nebraska in a long time. Let's stay in the Big Ten. Let's go to our QB. This is the QB I'm rooting for, big time. Mark Gronowski taking over at Iowa. What's it been like this summer? He's preparing for fall camp right now, and he joins me live at an exclusive on the Nate Brown Show. Mark Gronowski's next.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
How do you make a buffet day even better? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade is your place for good food and good times. Won the big game? Make it a play day. Aced your test? Make it a play day. Just need to get out of the house? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade has all your favorites and all kinds of fun. So bring your family, bring your friends, bring your team. For good food and good times, make it a buffet day and a play day at the Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade.
Whether you're grilling burgers at the cabin or roasting hot dogs around a campfire, Village Hearth and Artisan Hearth buns and rolls are a summertime essential. With so many varieties to choose from, including classic white and wheat, unsliced old-fashioned, brioche, gourmet French, and flavorful onion, Village Hearth and Artisan Hearth has the buns and rolls your family will love. Village Hearth and Artisan Hearth, baked locally and delivered fresh daily.
Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is everywhere you need us to be. On the sidelines, supporting our local athletes, at our clinic locations throughout the region, and at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to wait. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger, getting better, getting you back to your best self. The life of an athlete has its uncertainties, wins and losses, injury and recovery. In the Black Hills area, athletes can always count on Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, here for whatever moves you.
Tin Lizzy BetMGM Sportsbook is your home for the best sports betting experience in South Dakota. They have great food, great service, and great 4K TVs. There's not a bad seat in the house. And every game is on at Tin Lizzy. Bet on your favorite teams and watch the game, have a cold one, and enjoy summer in the Black Hills. BetMGM Sportsbook at Tin Lizzy, the king of sportsbooks. What game are you betting on? Make your play at Tin Lizzy, Main Street, Deadwood.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. A severe thunderstorm watch continues until 8 p.m. tonight. Severe storms likely tonight, otherwise cloudy skies expected. Lows level off around 60. Northwesterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Slight chance of thunderstorms tomorrow. Daytime highs approaching 83. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Right now, 74.
Shop the Black Hills' best selection of used cars, trucks, and SUVs, plus GM certified pre-owned at Danny Manhole Rapid Chevrolet. Shop over 350 used cars, trucks, and sport utilities, and buy with no money down, and make no payments for 90 days with qualified credit. All credit apps accepted. Choose from Chevys, GMCs, Rams, Fords, imports, and more. Over 350 of them. You can buy with no down and no payments for 90 days. See us at Danny Manhole Rapid Chevrolet or DannyManholeRapidChevrolet.com.
There's summer, and then there's Murphy's in the summer. Nothing beats it. The food, the drinks, the atmosphere. Whether you're soaking up sunshine on the patio or hanging inside with friends, Murphy's brings the good vibes all season long. Amazing food, cold beers, summer cocktails, live music on the patio, a crew that treats you right, and yes, even a late night menu every Friday and Saturday night. When you're thinking summer in Rapid City, there's only one move, Murphy's. Visit murphyspubandgrill.com. Murphy's, a Rapid City icon.
Live callers, big-time interviews, and breaking sports news. This is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown.
Oh, good stuff. Summer in South Dakota. Thanks for being here. The Nate Brown Show is on Fox Sports Radio. Glad to have you on board every afternoon drive. South Dakota Sports Talk Show across the state from Rapid City to Sioux Falls. We got you tonight. We're going to go talk Ohio State coming up. Joey Kaufman covers the Buckeyes. He's at Big Ten Media Days. Lincoln Kienholz out of Pierre is in a neck-and-neck battle, according to Ryan Day, the head coach, to be the starting quarterback for Ohio State. What's the latest on Lincoln Kienholz there? Joey Kaufman's coming up, Ohio State beat writer. Hey, speaking of QBs, this is our QB, man. We're rooting for him. Right across the border now. He's just across the border. That's it. He's over in Iowa, getting set for the Hawkeyes. Hey, they're playing Albany, by the way, the opener. Little FCS there. The quarterback for Iowa transferred out of South Dakota State. We had him on all season long on the Nate Brown Show. It's Mark Gronowski. Appreciate his time. He's busy getting set for fall camp, ready to go. He's going to hit it hard here pretty quick. Mark, good to have you back on. How are you?
Doing great, Nate. How are you?
Doing good, man. I want to ask you, you're busy out there. I saw you doing like a bar stool competition today. What was going on? What were you doing?
Yeah, we had a couple Barstool guys out to take a tour of Iowa a couple weeks ago. And they invited us to come out to Chicago and come check out the office, and they had us on a podcast, and they do like a little gauntlet, a little sports gauntlet, trying to compete at a bunch of different sports, and you try to get the fastest time possible. And I ended up doing pretty solid. I'm disappointed in my cornhole game, but we got to fix that later.
Okay, you're an all-around athlete. I watched the gauntlet competition. You did a little cornhole throw. You did some three-point shots. You did a soccer shot on net. And then you also had, like, what was this, trivia? Or you had to, like, name all the planets, and you just smoked that.
It was a trivia, and I got kind of lucky there they gave me the planets to name, and I ended up knocking out all the planets pretty quick. But my other buddy that had to do it too, he did not have as much of an easy route that I did on that one, but I'll take it. Okay,
your education at South Dakota State paying off, and you performed well in the Barstool Gauntlet today. Now on the Nate Brown Show, Mark Gronowski is in. Let me ask you now, let's get into this. So you go from South Dakota State, you go to Iowa. The real part of this was you had to show up and try and get in work, but you're off this shoulder surgery. And so I want to ask you about that process here. The injury, coming off of it, trying to get into a new program. How did you manage it?
Yeah, it was a little bit of a different approach, especially because I wasn't able to participate in any of the lifting or the practices just to start at Iowa. So my main thing when I first got there was just trying to build relationships with the guys around me. And that's kind of like the basis of any good team, is having those strong relationships and building that trust around with the guys. And once I can actually start competing a little bit in lifting and our running, I ended up doing that and had a lot of fun doing that with the guys. Then this summer, or actually before that, even in spring, while the practices were going on, I was kind of standing behind the offense the whole time, watching, taking reps from behind, understanding the plays, and going through my reads as well, just so I could learn the offense while I'm playing or while I was out. And then once summer hit, it was just hitting the ground running. I was able to start throwing again with all the guys, hanging out with the guys outside, continuing to build those relationships, and then practicing as well and getting those captain practices in while lifting. So it's been a different progression this year for me, but it's been nothing short of fun. So,
how do you feel health-wise? How does the shoulder feel? How is the ball flying 7-on-7?
Oh, it feels 100% right now. I wouldn't. I would say it feels the exact same as it did going into last season. Feels really fresh. I'm really excited for how this season's going to go.
Mark Gronowski on tonight. Iowa Hawkeyes quarterback, South Dakota State transfer, getting set for a season in the Big Ten. How about the spotlight, Mark? South Dakota State had a spotlight, but it was different. I mean, I've seen a lot of this stuff. You do this show, and I appreciate it. I love talking ball with you, but there's a big spotlight. How have you felt that? This is Iowa. This is Big Ten. How do you deal with it?
Yeah, it's been pretty crazy, and even on Twitter, I mean, just a couple tweets you put out there, all of a sudden you got a lot more comments on the good side and the bad side, which has been interesting to go about. But I mean, it comes with the role that I'm in, and the role of being a quarterback at Iowa and being just a role in the quarterback in the Big Ten. But Even when we're doing the interviews and media, there's a couple more guys that are coming up to talk to you, ask some more questions than there were at South Dakota State. But again, wouldn't trade this opportunity for the world.
Okay, how does this locker room feel to you? You love South Dakota State. You said offense was on the same page with defense. Sometimes you get in silos. You're doing your own things. You guys felt connected at SDSU. How do you do that here? How does this locker room feel?
Yeah, and I feel like it's kind of a similar situation to what I came into at South Dakota State in the sense that in past seasons, the offense and defense have kind of been, let's just say, split up and kind of doing their own thing. And I feel like this locker room here at Iowa has kind of been really developing and really building those good relationships on both sides of the ball. It's a very similar culture to South Dakota State, just a bunch of guys that really from the Midwest that want to work hard. And just play a lot of football, hard-nosed football, and that's what I really love about it. And I feel like we're going to continue to grow those relationships, and both sides of the ball are going to be really working together this year.
Okay, your offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach is Tim Lester. His system is Shanahan style, LaPro style. How does that fit for you? How does that relate to SDSU's system?
Yeah, and that's a big reason of why I ended up at Iowa, just because of the system and developing my game and helping me get to the next level. Obviously, we have to have a good year here first, but it's very similar, again, to kind of what Lujan and Eck was running for us at South Dakota State. A lot of motions, a lot of play action, a lot of running the ball first, and we'll pass more later when we need to. But I'm really liking it. I'm really enjoying the development of the offense, and me and Lester have had a great relationship, and letting me add kind of things that I like, that I feel comfortable with, that stuff that we ran at South Dakota State. And I feel like it's really going to help the offense, and we're going to continue to grow this year.
Mark Gronowski on tonight, Hawkeyes quarterback here on the Nate Brown Show, South Dakota Sports Talk Show. A couple more. I'll let him run. He's getting set for fall practice. So you said, hey, we'll pass it when we need to. But you're a 3,000-yard passer. I mean, you had an unbelievable time at South Dakota State. You had some great seasons. So you want to sling it a little bit. Do you feel like there's that Iowa fans say, we want some offense? This has been a defensive team. We want some offense. How explosive could you be?
I feel like we can be a very explosive offense. And I feel like just like how that South Dakota State offense was these past couple of years, we run the ball with our great running backs, and then all of a sudden the defense starts creeping in, we'll be able to throw it over the top. So I may have said the wrong word there by saying throw it when we need to, but we're going to throw the ball when we want to throw the ball, if that makes sense. We're going to do it when it feels right, when the defense isn't ready for it, and we're just going to keep them on their toes, try to have a balanced attack through and through.
Okay, the odds makers are saying Iowa's not near the top of the Big Ten. What do you feel like? You've been a chip on your shoulder guy. You went FCS first. You proved to everybody. Iowa not near the top of the Big Ten. What do you say?
Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of good home games this year against a lot of tough opponents. But I feel like this has been – Iowa football has always been an 8-win team, 9-win team, 10-win team over the past 10, 15-plus seasons. And hopefully that we can continue to grow from that, grow from last season. We had a couple games that ended up being one-score games, and we got a lot of guys that have improved, that are hungry to get out there this year, and hopefully we can flip those games and turn it into a bigger win season.
What would you say about Coach Ferentz? This is a long-term coach with a ton of success. What do you think has been his recipe? What's it been like being in his program?
Yeah, it's been awesome, and he's a big offensive line guy, and he's been coaching up a lot of the O-line, doing a great job doing that, allowing also Coach Barnett to do a good job coaching the O-line as well. But he knows ball really, really well, and he's been very interesting to have in all the meetings and listen to him and have all the wise words that he says and a lot of different lessons that are not just about football but also just life in general. But he's a good coach. He brings a great culture to the team, and I'm excited to play under him for a year.
Hey, Mark, I know the expectations are big now. They're huge. It's Big Ten. It's Iowa. You've played at a really high level. How do you keep yourself dialed in? It's football. It's still what I can do. You're a great athlete. How do you keep yourself dialed in mentally that not make it bigger than it is as this season gets going and you're facing down some teams you've never played against?
Yeah, and it's kind of very similar to what I was going through last year, because I expected last year to be my final year going into it, and I did put a lot of pressure on myself to begin that year, and I feel like you could have seen that a little bit at the beginning of last year, starting out a little bit rusty, knowing a new offensive coordinator, a lot of new receivers, but going into this year, I just want to make sure I'm just playing free, playing like I'm having fun out there. I'm playing a kid's game in front of a lot of people. So just going out there, knowing that the pressure's on you, but if there wasn't pressure, it wouldn't mean a whole lot to you. So knowing that I'm going to just play free and play fast and play loved out there.
I saw your conditioning numbers. You had the fastest speed with your group, quarterbacks, tight ends, linebackers. So you can outrun all those guys? You can outrun your linebackers?
Yeah, I've made it a mission of mine coming in after not doing a lot all spring, running at least in our conditioning and stuff. And I wanted to make a statement when I got in, so.
You made one. Your coach is saying he's a good athlete, man. Downhill speed. We've seen that. By the way, what's the game you're circling? I know opener is Albany. I just said that's a FCS reference there. What are you looking forward to? You're from Illinois, so you're in Big Ten country. Which one are you going, hey, I'm ready for this?
One to start off, I'm just really excited for that Iowa State game. Rocco Beck, great quarterback that they have over at Iowa State, but this is just another a big rivalry for Iowa, and I'm excited to go over to Iowa State and play in that game. And I'm going to have to add one more, just getting Penn State at home. Another great quarterback matchup, and it's going to be a lot of fun playing against those guys.
We're going to be watching you, man. We're rooting for you in South Dakota. You know that. You've been a great player. Really looking forward to it. Mark Gronowski, Iowa Hawkeyes quarterback. Last one, how have the Hawkeyes fans been? What's it been like? You've been a Jackrabbit fan favorite. What have the Hawkeyes fans been like?
Yeah, it's been nothing but love so far, and hopefully we keep it that way. But yeah, no, they've been great. They've been showing a lot of love on Twitter, a lot of love in the town, and it's been really cool to see how many fans are out there and that are really excited for Hawkeye football this season.
All right, Mark, you're getting to work, man. I look forward to this coming off the shoulder surgery. Big opportunity. A lot of people going to be watching it. Thanks for hopping in. I always appreciate you. Good luck.
Yeah, appreciate you having me on.
I appreciate the time. Thanks a lot. Mark Gronowski on tonight on the Nate Brown Show. We had him all last season as the quarterback of South Dakota State. Our segment all season for the Jacks called the QB. Well, we probably won't get that now. It probably won't. We'll try our best. We'll get Mark when we can. Appreciate his nature to come on the program still as the Iowa quarterback. There's a lot of requests and all that stuff that go in. So Mark Gronowski on tonight. Hawkeyes quarterback getting set for a big season of Iowa football. What are the odds for Iowa in the Big Ten? Well, their odds to win the Big Ten plus 650. They're just behind Indiana, just behind Nebraska and Illinois. That's where they've got Iowa pegged, the odds makers in Las Vegas. Mark Gronowski getting us started. We go to Christine Brennan next. A-listers tonight. She's a New York Times best-selling author. This is the number 2 book in the country right now, and it's about Caitlin Clark. Christine Brennan on the explosion of this book next.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one, so you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Santa came early. Renewal by Anderson's incredible Christmas in July event is so great, even Santa's shocked to the savings. Get 20% off plus no money down, no interest, and no payments for 18 months. That means no payments till 2027. Renewals Acclaim and Ensemble lines are the best of the best. Santa's not waiting till December to get new windows and doors. Neither should you. Call today or visit rbarapidcity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place? It's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait? There's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute, and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
Facility that you have to check out. E3 Sports Complex on East North Street is the newest indoor sports facility featuring 4 full courts. E3 Sports is here to serve the community and wants all athletes of any age to come and experience expert training, coaching, and the opportunity to unlock your athletic potential. Memberships and court rentals are available now. Come to play at E3 Sports Complex. Learn more at e3sports.org.
Hi, this is David Brennan with Coldwell Banker, Black Hills Legacy in Rapid City. Have you thought about buying a home or real estate in the Black Hills? Maybe you want to upgrade to your forever home? I have been helping people in the Black Hills find the right home for nearly 20 years. When it comes to buying or selling, experience matters. Let me do the work and you can open the door to your new home. Say hello to a good buy with me, David Brennan. To get started, just Google David Brennan, Coldwell Banker.
In the past, if you needed auto body repair, you had to get multiple estimates and then try to get your car into a shop for repair. Well, not anymore. In most cases, you can stop by one shop, get your estimate, and schedule your car for a repair. The question now becomes which shop you choose. If you like quality, choose J&J Truck and Auto Body. They have ASE, PPG, and Gold iCar certifications that allow them to offer you a nationwide warranty. And they'll work with your insurance company so you're pleased with the outcome. J&J Truck and Auto Body, 1513 East Philadelphia.
Your sports, your show. From East River to West River, this is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown Show.
Welcome back in across the state. South Dakota Sports Talk Show live on Fox Sports Radio. Welcome in. Hope you've had a great day. Wednesday edition of the program. The Nate Brown Show is on. Stream us right now if you want on X. You can watch the show live. Welcome in studio there. Get a shot of the studio on X at Nate Brown Show. Follow the show. Watch us live there. Just had Mark Gronowski on an exclusive with the Iowa Hawkeyes quarterback. Big season ahead for Mark Gronowski. What a player. And he transfers to Iowa to try and take the Hawkeyes through the Big Ten. He joined us to start the show. Now I'm going to go to a guest we had on in May. I've followed her work for a long time. She's been a long-time sports writer, really good. Now she is out with a new book. And we talked about this book as it was getting ready to launch. Now it's a New York Times bestseller. It's number 2 in the country. New York Times bestseller list. It's called On Her Game. Do you have it yet? You should. It's about Caitlin Clark and more. Christine Brennan joining us. Find her on X at C Brennan Sports. You can follow her there. The book is On Her Game. Christine, welcome back on. How are you?
Well, I am great, Nate. Thank you so much for having me, and just a delight to talk to you about this subject that I know is near and dear to the hearts of many of your listeners. I know where you're located. You reach Iowa, as we talked the last time, and have a great voice throughout that beautiful part of our country that I am now such a huge fan of, because I just spent about, 4 days in Iowa last week, and huge crowds, and just fantastic. I didn't quite make it to South Dakota, though, so that was my mistake. Next time.
That's all right. There's a lot of Caitlin Clark fans in South Dakota. We know that. Okay, I'll ask you about this, Christine. So I thought the book was going to be big, but I don't know much. Okay, I'm like, well, Caitlin Clark's big. Christine's been a great writer. You've done this thing. I thought it was going to be big. What's your reaction to when you go to the book signings, when you go to these things, whether it's in Iowa or wherever you've been, the early part of this release?
It's been wonderful and overwhelming, and to everyone listening and all those people that I've met, and Caitlin Clark fans, Big Ten fans, Iowa fans. I went to Northwestern. I grew up in the suburbs of Toledo. We had season tickets at Michigan games, so I'm Big Ten all the way. My siblings went to Indiana University. All three of them did, and so and a niece did, and others, floating around the Big Ten, other schools. It is certainly it's a surprise in some ways that we made it. It started out debuted number 2 on the New York Times bestseller list. And I believe we're 3 or 4 overall, counting audiobooks and ebooks and hardcover. So thanks again to everyone. I'm just so gratified and so honored. What I'm hearing over and over again, hundreds of people in Ames, Iowa, 100 in Ames, Iowa, 300 in Des Moines. We had, I think, 300 or 400 in Iowa City, where I was with Lisa Bluter and Jan Jensen a week ago. Spectacular. I don't think I'll ever be more loved than I was in Iowa City with those two last Wednesday night. But is that people come up to me and their delight and their joy and their just absolute love of Caitlin Clark. And for me to be talking about these issues, a whole chapter called Olympic Snub, going into in-depth even more than what people heard about. I have breaking news, new news about the Olympic snub of Caitlin Clark, which was just a devastating decision by USA Basketball that looks worse every day, even now, when you try to grow a game. And, of course, just Caitlin's incredible ability, how they decided, no, we do not want Caitlin Clark on the Olympic team last year. Covered the Olympics, as you know, for a long time. Worst Olympic team selection decision I've ever seen. That's all in the book. I deal with all of it and more. But the season last year, the Fever season, in depth, behind the scenes, in practices, exclusive access that I had, asking Caitlin 40 to 50 questions. Nothing was off limits. Everything, she knew it was for the book. Just terrific. What a great person she is. 22 going on 40 or 50, I say in the book. Just so mature, so fun, funny, confident, smart. And just, what it is, the guys, the men who come up, and I'm signing a book or 2 or 3 and talking to them, their daughter, their wife, their buddies, there's with them. And these guys say, I never watched women's basketball. I didn't care. And this is in Ohio. This is in D.C. It's Maryland 2 nights ago, Iowa, Indiana. And these men, some of them in Iowa gear, some of them in 22 jerseys, Fever jerseys, saying now they plan their evenings around Caitlin Clark games. And they figured out where Ion was on their TV dial so that they could make sure to watch Caitlin. That never cared about women's basketball. To me, this is a cultural story. It's sports, yes, right? But it's cultural, and it's truly an American story. And how perfect that it comes from the heartland. And as I said, I'm so honored to tell it.
Christine Brennan joining us tonight, best-selling author, number 2 debut on the New York Times bestseller list. Her book is On Her Game. That's what it's called. You can get it now. I want to ask you about a couple of things going on now. You look at behind the scenes, an inside look to last year, her rookie year, and coming from Iowa into Indiana. Now we're in the second year. There's been some adversity here. I'm curious what your thoughts are on Caitlin Clark, the second year, and still how big she is. The All-Star game just happened. She was there, but she didn't play, and I think it was down over 1 million viewers, her impact.
Right. Oh, yeah, it dropped 36%, so more than a third of the viewers who watched last year, the WNBA All-Star game last year, more than a third disappeared. And that is totally consistent with what we've seen over and over with Caitlin Clark. We know that when she was injured the first time, and these injuries are devastating, and just a woman who was never injured. Last time she missed a game, sophomore year of high school, November of 2017. And now just, injured and then one injury after another. So it's just so sad and obviously so disheartening for her. But when she was out those 5 games, the first time she missed some games earlier in the season, when she missed those 5 games, she disappeared, and more than half the WNBA TV audience disappeared. More than half. And now evidence again, 36% drop from last year's WNBA All-Star game with Caitlin Clark, of course, to this year's. It's all Caitlin Clark, and there's so many naysayers out there. I deal with them in the book. I go back and relive Diana Taurasi's nasty, mean-spirited comments, Brianna Stewart's nasty comments, Cheryl Swoops and the flurry of falsehoods that she threw at Caitlin Clark, obviously all wrong, ridiculous. Gino Auriemma with the worst sports prediction ever. That's all in a chapter where I call these people on it. I try to talk to them. I try to give them a chance to explain themselves. Cheryl Reeve and her, targeting, focusing on Caitlin Clark, a 50-something woman, focusing on a 22-year-old on Twitter. I would hate myself if I did that. I mentor a lot of college-age people. I mean, the thought that Cheryl Reeve did that, blaming Caitlin Clark for not having the Lynx game on TV. I mean, and then, of course, Caitlin's in the pool for the Olympics, and Cheryl Reeve is the Olympic coach. I so wish I wasn't telling you these stories right now, but they're the truth. I don't get to pick, facts are facts, and I'm a journalist, and this is a no-holds-barred, it's unauthorized book. It sounds ominous. It's not. It's what you want. Caitlin will write her book, and it'll be fantastic. I didn't want to write Caitlin's book. Caitlin did not want me to write her book. I mean, we didn't even discuss that. I'm a journalist. I want to cover her in the future. I can't be in business with her. So what I'm giving the reader is all of this. And yes, Caitlin Clark is it. This is the moment. She's the one. And how the WNBA continues to make mistakes, fritter this away, players who are jealous or angry, who just can't handle this, media who wants to downplay it. Just yesterday, ESPN Public Relations tried to make it like this is the most historic All-Star Game rating, the viewership talking about way more than 2 years ago, and then fine print, obviously far less than last year. Who does that? I mean, what on earth? And I called ESPN out on that in a tweet saying, no, this wasn't a historic rating. This was a huge drop. Where's the honesty? Where's the acknowledgement that it's truly Caitlin Clark that is the ratings driver? She's the economic rocket fuel for the league. I mean, she is the rising tide lifts all boats. I covered Tiger Woods, the length of his career. That's what happened in men's golf. They realized it quickly, and they said, all right, Tiger, we want to beat you, but you are the most important thing to ever happen to us. Obviously, again, you play defense on her, you guard her. Of course, Caitlin can dish it out and take it and all of that. But to try to blindside her, as Marina Mabrey did, the freight train coming in, just trying to, just a horrible hit, not getting kicked out of the game, all the things we see in the WNBA that perplex fans and make so many people like your listeners angry and furious. I'm hearing it all around my book tour, and I answer those questions, and I'm also, when I do interviews, I bring it up. It's Caitlin Clark, folks. It's Paige Beckers is great, but she cannot even sell out an 8,000-seat arena in Dallas. Angel Reese is fascinating. She cannot sell out Chicago arenas. She needs Caitlin Clark to sell out her own home arenas. On and on it goes, and somehow the WNBA still seems to not either want to acknowledge this or just wants to keep their small things small, which is absolutely stunning to me. And as I said, I do chronicle all this in the book.
Let me ask you, Christine, WNBA is trying to negotiate now, new CBA. They're hoping to not have a work stoppage. Fans that have come to the WNBA, like myself, I've been watching so much more than I ever have before because of Caitlin. I'm one of those guys. The CBA is going to be negotiated. Caitlin's not on that committee, but they did have her involved. That was the reporting. How much of an impact does Caitlin make on a new deal that hopefully will get done?
Oh, she's everything. Again, she's it. She's it. And I'm glad that she was in one of the meetings. I was in Indy. I obviously was not. I was doing book events, and then I was at the All-Star game. But I know she's it. And they need her. They need to realize and understand the magnitude of Caitlin Clark and how the spotlight that shines on her, Nate, shines on all of them, and players who never got the attention they deserved. I fought all the way in the 90s for coverage for these women. I wish it had happened with Maya Moore, right? I wish it had happened with Asia Wilson. I wish that they were being discussed in the produce section of the grocery store like Caitlin Clark and transcended their sport. But it didn't happen. Those are the facts. It did not happen. It's happening now. And we understand the racial component, of course. And I deal with all that and have incredible voices, black and white, on this topic. I mean, you get a lot of logo threes jumping off the page, sports and joy and fun for your 12-year-old daughter or son to read the book, for you, for your parents. I wrote it for everyone. But there's also this history of the WNBA and all of what I've been discussing, again, in a very broad brush, so you can move on to the next topic and enjoy the sports and reliving Caitlin's entire Iowa career, which I do in 4 chapters, and then also, of course, the Indiana Fever season, the first journalistic look at this incredible sports icon. That's what this book is. But absolutely, they need her. And a work stoppage, which you meant, that would be a disaster, absolutely disaster.
Right.
You do not do that. They need to play. They need better salaries, but also, it's a long way to the NBA salaries. And I think just moving in the right direction with the TV contract now, so much more. All of this, though, because Caitlin Clark is bringing eyeballs and fans who otherwise never would be there.
The book is On Her Game. My wife just got it. She just got it. She does books on tape. She got it. Already listening to it. Best-selling author, New York Times #2 debut on the bestseller list. On Her Game is the book. It's from Christine Brennan joining us live, South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Christine, we'll be in touch. Thanks for coming on again. Great job on the launch. I appreciate your time.
Oh, Nate, same here. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Have a great evening.
Thanks a lot. Christine Brennan, best-selling author, #2 debut on the New York Times bestseller list already. That's On Her Game. The book is out on Caitlin Clark and the start of her career from Iowa to the WNBA. See Brennan Sports on X if you want to follow her there. Again, the book, On Her Game. You can get it now. Coming right back, I've got to look at this, okay? I'm going to look at this. I asked for the best brands of high school football in South Dakota yesterday, okay? So we do this live, and we say, here's the votes that are coming in. So I asked, who has the best brand when it comes to South Dakota high school football? The votes are final on X, and it was really, really close. I'll take a look next.
This is the Nate Brown.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one, so you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The #1 hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Santa came early. Renewal by Anderson's incredible Christmas in July event is so great, even Santa's shocked to the savings. Get 20% off plus no money down, no interest, and no payments for 18 months. That means no payments till 2027. Renewals Acclaim and Ensemble lines are the best of the best. Santa's not waiting till December to get new windows and doors. Neither should you. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place that's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait? There's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute, and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
The sound of a legendary Brunswick pool table. It's the sound of families about to make memories together. And while this may sound like the hum of a spa, listen closely and you'll hear backyard fun for years to come. So while Splash City's guarantee of quality sure sounds good, we know quality time sounds even better.
Who wants another burger?
Splash City, 1024 West Omaha, across from Connects in Rapid City.
Celebrate freedom all month long at Spearfish Motors. New GMC Sierra Light Duties with savings up to $6,250 or choose 0% financing for 36 months. Drive away in a new GMC Sierra HD with discounts up to $3,750 or explore the rugged new GMC Canyon with up to $2,000 in total savings on select models. Spearfish GMC Cadillac. Shop anytime online at spearfishmotors.com.
GMC, we are professional grade.
Imagine this, a bank that is committed to you, that understands your needs, your values, and your growth. No more settling for the status quo. Pioneer Bank and Trust offers tailored solutions, innovative services, and a team of experts dedicated to your success. You deserve more attention and more support from your bank. Don't settle. Pioneer. Pioneer Bank and Trust. Local.
Pioneer Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
This is The Nate Brown Show, also streaming live on YouTube. Subscribe to The Nate Brown Show on YouTube.
Hey, welcome back in. Summer in South Dakota. The Nate Brown Show is on. Glad you're here each afternoon. Thanks for joining us when you can. We are live in the Afternoon Drive, South Dakota Sports Talk Show on Fox Sports Radio. If you missed some of the show, go to the Nate Brown Show podcast. That's the way you can get every guest. We don't repeat guests. Even some big ones like Mark Gronowski joined us tonight. Exclusive interview with the Iowa Hawkeyes quarterback. We've talked to Mark a lot over the last year, so I appreciate him hopping on from Big Ten country. He did a Barstool event earlier today, and then he does the Nate Brown Show later in the day. That's big time. So Christine Brennan moments ago on her new book, New York Times #2 bestseller, On Her Game, about Caitlin Clark. She was just moments ago. So check the show, the Nate Brown Show podcast, to get it on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, wherever you get your podcasts. I said my wife got the book, On Her Game. I said book on tape. And then I just had my wife reply. She said, "What's a book on tape? What are you talking about? A book on tape?" What are they called? Audiobooks? Do I have that right now? Book on tape. I'm from the 80s and 90s. You guys should know this. All right. Audiobooks. We have the Caitlin Clark audiobook, On Her Game, okay? We got it, and I got it right. Let's see if you guys got it right. I asked this question yesterday because I went through and valued the college football programs, FCS. So this was an exercise done by The Athletic. They did the FBS programs. Who's the most valuable brand right now to invest in? And in the FBS, it was Texas. So Texas 1, Georgia was 2, Ohio State was 3rd, Notre Dame 4, and then it was Michigan 5. So I have that list. I did the FCS most valuable programs yesterday. I'll get into that tomorrow with another FCS guy and see if he and I are on the same page. That'll be fun tomorrow. But I also wanted to ask you in South Dakota high school football. This is across the state here. I got an audience on both sides. Who's the best brand of South Dakota high school football? You have to consider everything. History, winning, not just recent winning, but let's look at the history as well. And then they still got to be pretty strong now. That's my read. So I asked the audience yesterday, and there was a lot of votes coming in. So if you missed yesterday's show, we're doing it live now. So if you want to chime in on that, you missed yesterday, hit me up. 605-720-1067 is the Barron-Wilson text line. Best way to do it. Best brand for South Dakota high school football in 2025 based on history, recent success. They're just strong, just solid. I had a top 4, and so I wanted you to rank them. Who is the best brand of South Dakota high school football? Let's look at the final tally from yesterday. It is tight, but 35% of the audience, that was the number one vote getter, so it was broken up. 35% of the audience said the number one brand, strongest brand for high school football in South Dakota is the Pierre Governors. Not too surprised by that. The string of all these state championships. the Lincoln Keenholz story, the Zabel. I mean, so they got college, they got NFL, they got state titles. Nobody's beaten them. So I wasn't too surprised. That wasn't my vote. 35% say Pierre. Second in the state was Winner. And I went with Winner. And the difference for me with Winner, they've won in a class that's hard to do. In a small community, you just get who you get, and you have to win in a hard class. Yes, I'm telling you 11B is harder than 11AA. Well, what do you mean? There's way more teams. There's way more parity. It's way harder to get to the top every year, and Winner does it. I mean, Winner is just unbelievable. You think of South Dakota high school football, the way we play, the small towns, the Friday night lights, it is Winner Warriors. That's my strongest brand for high school football. They just have been unbeatable in a class that's really hard to keep winning all the time. 11AA, I'm saying teams are fine. There's hardly any of them. So that's why I took Pierre down. Winner's mine. West Central got 21% of the vote. West Central got 21% of the vote. So there's the top three best brands of South Dakota high school football. Pierre got your number one vote. Winner second. West Central, and all those state titles, they won 12 total. It was like 9 or 10 in a row or something like that, right? For West Central, the Trojans. Listener text, where's O'Gorman? Well, O'Gorman, I said, really strong, 80s, 90s, early 2000s, like really strong. Nobody could beat them. They've fallen off now. I don't put O'Gorman in that category right now because they just haven't been there. They haven't been there in the last 5 years or more. So let's see. Listener text, brand of South Dakota high school football is O'Gorman. It's not even close. Huh. Interesting. All right. By the way, I've got something to discuss next. This is going to pit me against Matt Kearney. Kearney says, you got to make this call on this story today. I say, you can't make this call. And we've got a story about Little League Baseball. Wouldn't you know it? Next.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
At Ace, your backyard is right in our backyard. So when you need to feed your grass, remove the weeds, or wrangle those leaves, go to the best place that delivers on top brands like Ego, Toro, and Steel. No warehouse store can match the convenience of your locally owned neighborhood Ace. So stop on by. You can also order online for curbside pickup or get what you need delivered. Around the block, what you need in stock with people who know their lawn care. At participating stores.
Yeah, can I get the taco burger value combo? That's a value? I know it's a taco and a burger, but come on. Yeah, I can find a better value right across the street. No, not at the bait shop, at the gas station. I can get a South Dakota Lottery scratch game for as little as $1. You can actually win thousands of dollars. Almost enough to eat here.
Good fun. Must be 18 to play. Please play responsibly.
Cadillac Jack's Gaming Resort welcomes you to the Days of 76 celebration and our Not Our First Rodeo Progressive giveaway. This Friday and Saturday night, we'll draw for cash and promo play winners every half hour, starting with $300 at 8 p.m. Then every hour after, the total increases by $100 up until midnight when someone will win $1,000. This Friday and Saturday night, only at Cadillac Jack's Gaming Resort. How will your night play out?
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
It's officially patio season in downtown Rapid City, and there's no better place to soak up the sun and the good vibes than at Que Pasa Mexican Cantina. Tacos, tequila, burritos, and beer, and good vibes all day long. Que Pasa is your hometown hangout, and we have a smoking deal for you. Mention you heard Rob on the radio and score a $2.99 house margarita any day, anytime. Limit one per customer per day, so don't miss out. Offer available for a limited time. Swing by, sip something special, and celebrate the season at Que Pasa Mexican Cantina.
If you're in the market for a vehicle right now, you probably have noticed it's sometimes hard to find the right one. That's where Summit Automotive Group steps in. Stacy and Matt and their staff working hard to get a great selection of pre-owned vehicles at affordable prices. At Summit Automotive, they have a different outlook on selling you a vehicle. You'll experience stress-free shopping, friendly, honest service with no high-pressure sales gimmicks. Before you buy, drop by East Highway 44, SummitAutoGRP.com. We're talking with Rihanna Wickett at Elevate Performance Physical Therapy with an Elevate Performance Health Minute. So if somebody has an athlete, Rihanna, who they suffer a concussion, they come and see you, what can you do for them?
We want to see them as soon as possible to make sure that we can make their return to sport as safe as possible. So we can look at proprioception, balance, vestibular work, and cervical strength.
When they try to get back up to speed, you said a treatment plan, very important as they return to sport.
Making sure that the athlete has a skilled plan moving forward so that they don't return to sport way too early, making sure that the return to contact is an appropriate timing.
And the goal of that is you do not want to have another concussion getting back to it too early.
Correct. If we have another concussion too early, the athlete is at a huge risk of further problems down the road, including anything with their school or memory or continuous headaches.
For concussion treatment, get started at ElevatePerformanceSD.com.
This is the Nate Brown Show. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, we are rolling on a Wednesday night. Thanks for being a part of the show. I appreciate that. Thanks for making this show possible. We appreciate everybody from our listeners to our sponsors in South Dakota. South Dakota Sports Talk Show is live on Fox Sports Radio, The Nate Brown Show. Glad to have you on board. Great guest lineup tonight. Mark Gronowski kicked off the show. If you missed the Iowa Hawkeyes quarterback, he gave us an exclusive tonight. Mark Gronowski previewed the Big Ten season, his journey from shoulder surgery to getting into this locker room, getting in a new offense, and getting into the Big Ten. Which game is he looking forward to the most? We covered it all there. Mark Gronowski started the show, and then best-selling author, New York Times bestseller, Christine Brennan, her new book on Caitlin Clark. It's called On Her Game. It's just exploded, and she joined us talking about the book launch. Getting into the second hour of the Nate Brown Show, Joey Kaufman's coming up. Ohio State football beat writer. Does Lincoln Kienholz have a shot to be the starting QB for the Buckeyes when they take on Texas in the opener? I mean, this is massive. This could be huge. He's in the mix. Ryan Day talked about Lincoln Kienholz out of Pierre. So we'll talk to Joey Kaufman. What's his read? He's just doing a story on Lincoln Kienholz. We've got him from the Columbus Dispatch. Ohio State beat writer is on tap. We'll get into the Huskers as well later this hour with Jake Sorensen live from Lincoln, 93.7 The Ticket on the Husker expectations for the season. Busy Wednesday show. Hey, I've got something for you. Let's get into the debate. Okay? There's a Little League Baseball story it was on CBS Morning News today. So this thing's just exploded. It's like, what gets big these days? It's interesting. But there's a New Jersey Little Leaguer who just hit a home run in their state semifinal game. Okay? So the Little League World Series coming up later here in August, right? Sioux Falls is trying to make it. They're playing in the Midwest Regional, right, in Indiana. So this Little Leaguer from New Jersey hit a home run, and then he did a big bat flip. You know the bat flips, the celebration. He's going down the first baseline. He throws the bat in the air. I don't know, 20 feet, whatever. Threw it high. Well, that umpire said that's against the rules, Little League rules here in New Jersey. You can't do bat flips. No bat flips. So he ejected him. And that means he's going to miss the upcoming state championship in New Jersey. And so my question of the day, South Dakota sports fans, if you have a Little League player, it's state semifinal, he's excited, he hit a home run, he does the bat flip, I understand he gets ejected, I guess. I mean, I don't like the look at me, I don't like the crazy stuff that kids do because they see it on TV and all this goofy stuff. He's ejected. Okay. But don't I have to reinstate him for the state championship off of one mistake like that? Don't we have do we have a little bit of sense? So we debated it here at the office today. And one thing I know is Matt Kearney follows the rules, the great producer of the Nate Brown Show. He is a rule guy. And he says, if you don't like the rules, sorry. That's the quote. I mean, I'd bring him onto the show. He could say it again, but I'm going to do it. Sorry. So he says the kid's out. He's out. Well, now this is going to court, by the way. They're trying to get a temporary order here that allows this kid to play. I mean, that's how far this stuff goes now. So what I'm saying is let's have some South Dakota common sense applied to this. Matt, he could have got ejected. I'll give you that. I can't keep him out of the state championship. So it wasn't it wasn't egregious. It was a bat flip. It was a celebration. It's one of those things, it's happening. Let the kids play. I can't hold on to such rules like this. There's rules that sometimes you go, it's a state championship, trying to get to the regional, Little League Baseball. Let's let the kid make a mistake. We ejected him. We sent a message. He won't do it again, so let's bring him back. Reinstate him. The Little Leaguer in New Jersey with the bat flip. I never even did a bat flip when I played. Reinstate him. Do you agree? Do you all agree with that? Reinstate the Little Leaguer on the bat flip? I say yes. Kearney says no. Let's throw out the question of the day. New Jersey Little League player's been suspended because of a bat flip in his last game. Now he's out of the state championship. Do you think the Little League in New Jersey should reinstate him for the championship? 605-720-1067. That's the text line for the question of the day. So far on Twitter, 71% of the audience is with me. Let him play. 29% of the audience is with Kearney. You have to follow the rules. Okay, listener text. Ejection. Yes. Well, what do you mean? So eject him, but now let him play again? That's what it's fine if you ejected him. It's fine. But you got to let him play in the New Jersey State Championship, correct? Hey, let's do this. It's a Wednesday. Are you ready?
It's time for 5 questions from Chris on the Nate Brown Show.
Hey, Chris, our loyal listener sends me 5 questions. I've got to roll through this puppy. Let's do it, Chris. Question number 1. Many of the WNBA All-Stars wore those T-shirts that said, "Pay us what you owe us." Do you think the league will have a lockout after this season is over? No, I don't, Chris. I do not think there will be a lockout. That would be the dumbest thing the WNBA could do. Now, they've done some dumb things. So, I guess we'll just wait. But there will not be a lockout. You can't have it. You've got to make some deals. Players deserve more of a percentage. It's an easy thing. Caitlin Clark train is rolling. Don't screw it up. Question number 2. Speaking of lockouts, WNBA might have one. MLB is looking at that. Nate, why do you think most fans on these ownership and player arguments, most fans gravitate to the ownership side of the bargaining table? Why do you think that is? That's a good question, Chris. Sometimes I do as well. Because I think we sometimes look at the players and we think, well, you guys are getting paid all this money. Just play. Have you heard that statement, Chris? You're getting paid all this money, and we're doing jobs. People are working construction. We got teachers. We got firemen, police officers. And they're looking at it going, you're getting paid this money. Just play. And then they forget about the owners who are sitting there doing nothing and raking it in. That's my honest feel. Well, the players are up front. The owners are behind the curtain, and we forget about them. That's why I believe they side with the owners a lot. We just use those phrases. You're playing a game. Just play. Question number 3. 5 questions from Chris. Prior to winning the British Open, Scottie Scheffler said he didn't find being a pro golfer was fulfilling. It's not a fulfilling life, he said. If you remember, he said he would withdraw from the Masters if his wife were to go into labor during that event. Do you think he would have made these comments and feelings public if he wasn't the number one golfer on the PGA Tour? Well, yeah, I think he would have, Chris. I mean, Scottie Scheffler, I had a buddy tell me today, Scottie's just saying, this is how I'm living my life. I'm different. I'm not like everybody else. Like, what's the purpose? I don't know. I win golf tournaments. I enjoy it, kinda. But my buddy told me, let's just let people live their lives the way they want to. That's a profound statement at lunch today. What a statement. Let's just let people live their life the way they want to. And Scottie Scheffler is like, this isn't fulfilling. There's more to life. I think he's fine. And I think he would have said it. I just think he's that type of guy. Question number 4. Adam Silver, commissioner of the NBA, said that the NBA All-Star Game has run its course, so now they're looking at changing it to the U.S. versus the World All-Star this next year. Do you think, if they don't have success with this, that their new media partners, NBC, Amazon, will just allow this game to disappear? I do not, Chris. I do not believe, as bad as the All-Star Game is, and if they don't have success with the U.S. versus the world, if people still don't like it, they'll still have it. I mean, this Pro Bowl thing has been a total mess now for a long time. And I know now they're doing the other competitions, and so it's like, oh, we're just doing the flag football thing, and they're still doing an all-star thing. If there's still money to be made, the NBA will still have an all-star game, as bad as it is. Question number 5. 5 questions from Chris. There's a report that Major League Baseball has 2 new cities for baseball expansion, looking at Nashville and Salt Lake City. Rob Manfred had previously said he wants to have the expansion city selected by 2029. Would you vote for these 2 cities to be your best candidates for a new Major League Baseball franchise? Salt Lake City and Nashville. Well, I'm fine with it. Salt Lake City's great. I've been there. I've not been to Nashville. I have not been to Nashville, but people say it's popping. It's popping. So they do well down there with football, hockey. So it's interesting. I think that's a poppin' place. You get fans to go there. Salt Lake City's it's a good sports place. So I think both places make sense. I'm in on that. I wouldn't select anywhere else. Salt Lake City, Nashville. Will they be Major League Baseball homes? Not bad. 5 questions from Chris in the books on a Wednesday. Can Lincoln Kienholz actually be the starter for Ohio State football this season? This is a big story. Joey Kaufman covering Ohio State, live from Columbus, Ohio next.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number 1. So you can always be their number 1. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number 1 hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Santa came early. Renewal by Anderson's incredible Christmas in July event is so great, even Santa's shocked at the savings. Get 20% off plus no money down, no interest, and no payments for 18 months. That means no payments till 2027. Renewals Acclaim and Ensemble lines are the best of the best. Santa's not waiting till December to get new windows and doors. Neither should you. Call today or visit rbarapidcity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place that's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait, there's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
With a new or pre-owned RV from Dakota Discount RV, we make your RV experience fun and easy by providing you with a quality recreational vehicle, competitive pricing, and professional sales and service. Our large inventory of fifth-wheelers, travel trailers, toy haulers, and live-in horse trailers allows us to save our customers thousands of dollars compared to most dealers. Stop by and see us at Dakota Discount RV, 3330 East Mall Drive across from Cabela's and on JB Road, Blackhawk.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. A severe thunderstorm watch continues until 8 p.m. tonight. Severe storms likely tonight, otherwise cloudy skies expected. Lows level off around 60. Northwesterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Slight chance of thunderstorms tomorrow. Daytime highs approaching 83. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently 73.
Where can you get surprisingly great rates on auto and renter's insurance? At State Farm. I'm State Farm Agent Matt McCormick, and I'm your one-stop shop in Rapid City for protecting your car and your stuff for surprisingly great rates. So stop looking around. Call me, State Farm Agent Matt McCormick, for surprisingly great auto and renter's rates today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
From high school to college to the pros, from Rapid City to Sioux Falls, the Nate Brown Show is South Dakota's sports talk.
Welcome back in. Your sports, your show. The Nate Brown Show is on Fox Sports Radio across the state. South Dakota Sports Talk Show, Wednesday edition of the program. All of our guests appear on the Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline, powered by the Pizza Ranch at East 10th Street, Sioux Falls. Also in Brandon. Stop by the Pizza Ranch in Rapid City. 2 locations. Home of everyone's favorite buffet. By far, it is the Pizza Ranch. Question of the day, would you let this Little Leaguer play in the state championship in New Jersey? He did a bat flip after his home run in the semifinal. It's against the rules. Can't do a bat flip in Little League Baseball. He got ejected, but that means he's suspended for the state championship. I'm on the hill. I want to reinstate him. He's learned his lesson. This is Little League Baseball. Reinstate him for the state championship. Listener text coming in from a friend of mine. This is a friend of mine. He said, "You're soft. Rules are rules. Keep them out." My goodness. Hope you're having a good day. Joey Kaufman's on tonight. Appreciate his time. He's covered Ohio State football. Ohio State, the national champions, and South Dakota tie in a big way. Could Lincoln Kienholz get the number 1 spot on the depth chart at quarterback out of Pierre? I mean, this is it's a competition. It really is. I think it's kind of creeping up on people. They're like, what? Junior Lincoln Kienholz is in the mix at Ohio State? He's the writer for the Columbus Dispatch. Dispatch.com for his coverage, okay? He's got some good stuff on this. Dispatch.com. Joey, welcome on. How are you?
Good. Thanks for having me on.
I appreciate it, man. Let me get your reaction to just this quarterback competition. I think people here in South Dakota who followed Lincoln Kienholz kind of been waiting, didn't hear much. Heard like, well, he's doing okay, but there's been such good players there. We kind of wonder, is he ever going to break through or is somebody going to come in? Well, Ryan Day said this is a competition. What do you say?
I think it's a genuine competition because neither Lincoln Kienholz nor Julian Sayin, who was ahead of Lincoln on the depth chart last year, has played really at all at Ohio State. I mean, Lincoln had a little bit of experience filling in the Cotton Bowl 2 years ago, but most of their reps have been in mob-up duty, if at all. So I think the inexperience factor really truly makes it a quarterback competition. And they also both offer some different skill sets, and Lincoln has some I think unique things he can bring to the table, and we can certainly talk about that a little more, but he is quite an athlete.
Okay, so I'm wondering what, going to separate him. You said, talk about his athleticism. That's what Ryan Day said today. Like, Ryan Day's like, man, Lincoln Kienholz is a tremendous athlete. That was the quote, tremendous athlete. And he named all these other sports. We saw him play multiple sports. Basketball, he was a great player. Baseball, great player. I don't know what that does for him, but it sounds like Ryan Day says this might be one of the better athletes here.
And a high jumper, too, in track and field a little bit. He profiles similarly in some ways to maybe Will Howard, who was a quarterback who could use his legs in some short yardage situations and really gave, I think, Ohio State a quarterback who could run for a first down when needed. And they've never really asked the quarterback to run all that much in the Ryan Day era, but he at least brought that skill set. And if Ohio State is trying to continue to go in that direction, I think Lincoln Kienholz is alluring in that fashion, just his athleticism and the ability to run the ball. I think where that is something that would separate him from Julian Sayin, who is a more conventional, I think, quarterback who's going to pick you apart from the pocket and really does have a special arm and the way he can layer some throws and the touch he has. But that, I think, is the contrast between the two quarterbacks and how you want to build your offense.
How do you think Ryan Day makes this decision? Take us inside what he wants. Lincoln's been there a while. Sounds like people really like him. And I'm not saying they don't like Julian Sayin, this top recruit in the 2024 class, but what do you think Ryan Day is going to bring this down to?
I think it's going to hinge on a lot of the scrimmages in fall camp and some of their more competitive periods of practice where they're going live, because there is not really a lot of game tape for them to go back and scrutinize and maybe give somebody the benefit of the doubt, which was the case last year when Will Howard transferred to Ohio State with nearly 30 starts under his belt at Kansas State. He was in a quarterback competition last year with Devin Brown, but the edge went to Will. Just there had to be some sort of deference to his experience that he had. Neither Julian nor Lincoln has that now. So I think a lot is going to probably ride on how they perform in fall camp and in those more high-profile scrimmages where the quarterback who sort of outshines in those settings is going to get a leg up, and sort of also who emerges maybe as a leader and just the way they can kind of galvanize the guys around him and some of the intangibles that they bring. It really does feel like a competition where whoever puts their best foot forward and maybe plays the best can win the job.
Joey Kaufman's on tonight, Ohio State football beat writer for the Columbus Dispatch. His coverage at dispatch.com. We're talking Lincoln Kienholz in a heated competition for the number one spot at quarterback for the national champion Ohio State Buckeyes. So Lincoln is a junior. Now, I pointed this out. He probably could have went somewhere mid-tier, started, played. A lot of guys don't hang on. What do you think that says? Lincoln's staying. I don't know if he's going to get the job, but he's in the mix, and he's stayed when most guys have left.
Yeah, I think it speaks to sort of him and the loyalty he's shown. And in a lot of ways, he is a throwback because if you remember in his high school career, he did not enroll early at Ohio State for spring practice. He stayed and finished out his senior season of basketball and his senior season of baseball because he made a commitment to the teammates and then wanted to finish out his year, which you don't often see among quarterbacks. So it's kind of a sort of a nod to some traditionalism there. And he's shown that same characteristic staying at Ohio State for 2 years so far. I think it's also important to keep in mind that he's a junior in academic standing, but he qualified for a red shirt as a freshman. So he is a redshirt sophomore, which means he has 3 years of eligibility left. Even if he does not win the job this year, he could transfer in, play elsewhere, and have 2 seasons of eligibility. So his eligibility clock is not ticking as fast where he's sort of under the gun. This is where his lone chance to start is he's only got 1 or 2 seasons of eligibility left. It doesn't go the way he wants. he's got time to sort of re-examine and look at options.
So the heat at Ohio State is hot. The pressure is a cooker. How do you think Lincoln Kienholz, you're doing a preseason feature on him. What's your perspective of him? How can he handle this limelight here? I mean, it's a big spotlight if you're that quarterback.
Yeah, I think, to me, I think he has been through some adversity at Ohio State already. The Cotton Bowl that he stepped into as a freshman was not an easy situation, where Ohio State had some injuries and issues on the offensive line. Kyle McCord transferred before the bowl game. Devin Brown gets hurt in the first quarter, so here's a guy who was a third-string quarterback who had been on campus for only a few months, gets thrust into the situation where maybe he's a little ahead of schedule in terms of playing, and the Ohio State fan base can be hard on guys, and that was a very difficult loss for them to finish up that 2023 season. So I think that experience helped him in terms of just sort of knowing what it's like to be under the lights and really with all the sort of the pressures that come with being the Ohio State quarterback, even if only for 3 quarters. I think at least that was a big challenge, and he went from 0 to 60 very fast at the end of that 23 season.
What's your perspective? One more on Lincoln Kienholz, Joey. Is he the underdog in this? It seems like there's more hype on Julian saying number 1 prospect in the 2024 class. Is he the underdog?
I think it's fair to call him the underdog because, look, Julian Sain was ahead of him on the depth chart last year. He was the 3rd-string quarterback. Lincoln was the 4th-string quarterback. Julian probably got more reps with the 1st string in fall camp. I think those kind of give Sain a little bit of an edge. And you look at maybe the way he finished spring practice, Julian Sain probably had the better spring game. But there was a point in spring practice after their first Student Appreciation Day scrimmage, which is one of the more high-profile scrimmages in spring practice, where Ryan Day said that Lincoln was ahead of Julian. So I think even though maybe you say he is the underdog, I think he's really close with Julian. I think there, as Ryan Day said, neck and neck. I don't think it's a formality that Julian Sain is going to be the starting quarterback at Ohio State. I think Lincoln, even if he is the underdog, is going to have a chance to push him, and if he outplays him, I don't think he's going to be an afterthought at all.
Star wide receiver Jeremiah Smith for the Buckeyes. He's an outstanding player. He said today Lincoln Kienholz is a dog. He is a dog. We've done some competitive things here in training, and Kienholz is a dog. So let me ask you an Ohio State question, Joey. So the odds say Ohio State's the favorite in the Big Ten. Those odds came out. How close is Penn State? What's your perspective right now in this conference?
A lot of people do like Penn State, and I think it's because of the stability that they have at quarterback with Drew Aller, who's going into now his 3rd season as their starting quarterback. And you scan the landscape across the Big Ten and really in college football, there are a lot of inexperienced players at that quarterback position. Whoever wins the job at Ohio State, he's going to be a first-time starting quarterback. Michigan could end up starting a true freshman. Oregon's going to Dante Moore, who's much less experienced than they've had in recent years with Bo Nix, and then last year with Dylan Gabriel. So I think that has really made Penn State such a popular pick because they have somebody who has some sustained experience and stability at quarterback. And so I think you factor in that. It's easy to see why Penn State is sort of a popular pick this time of year.
Yeah, some of the national guys have said Penn State's the best team. Not me. I'm not there, but I've just seen Penn State fall off. Joey Kaufman covering the Buckeyes, and his reporting is going to be on Lincoln Kienholz doing some preseason features here. Dispatch.com. Check for it. Talking peers, Lincoln Kienholz trying to battle for the number 1 spot at the national champion, Ohio State. Joey, good to have you, man. Thanks for hopping in.
Hey, good to talk to you.
Appreciate your time. Joey Kaufman on tonight, Dispatch.com. That's the coverage. He'll be following Lincoln Kienholz in this QB competition. We'll be following it closely. We've had Lincoln on the show, great peer, all-state quarterback, and he's trying to get the number 1 job for the national champs at Ohio State. That's the real deal. That would be big. Joey Kaufman on tonight, Ohio State writer for the Columbus Dispatch. Coming back with Jake Sorensen. He's our next guest from Lincoln. Huskers' expectations, are they the highest they've been in a long time? No, really. Jake Sorensen from 93.7 The Ticket, Lincoln next.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
If you follow Country Heartbreds on Facebook and Instagram, then you already know that their cute little mascot, Lofi, really knows his dough. For instance, he knows that rising dough is a good thing, but rising grocery prices, not so much. The bakers of Country Heartbreds and Village Hearth Buns agree, so they've lowered the prices on dozens of products. And to help you save even more on the only breads and buns that are baked locally and delivered fresh daily, Lofi suggests visiting countryhearthbreads.com/coupons to print a coupon or two and save a buck.
Could there be a better name? Auto Value Parts Stores. They aren't just about air fresheners or fuzzy dice. Auto Value Parts Stores are all about parts, auto parts, and advice. Pros who know auto parts with tons of tips when you need them the most. You want real value? Don't go to a place with a cute name. Go to Auto Value. Could there be a better name? I didn't think so. Your Auto Value Parts Store. We've got the parts, we've got the smarts.
Collins Siding has been the region's premier window siding, door, and gutter installation specialist since 1974. They use only the highest quality materials and never compromise on their workmanship. Collins Siding is licensed, bonded, and their estimates always include labor, materials, and applicable permits and taxes. Collins Siding has been providing top quality service and exceeding high standards for over 45 years, and you can find out how by visiting them at 2016 Cherry Avenue. Collins Siding, 2016 Cherry Avenue, Rapid City.
Whether you run the race, make the catch, cast a line, pitch a tent, or just look good doing it, Shields Rapid City has your gear. From athletic clothing from your favorite team, cold weather gear to keep you warm, to the best camping selection this side of the Black Hills, and the most stylish and functional women's outerwear and footwear, Shields has the widest selection of the best brands in the business. So when you're ready to get out, get in the game, or get going, get to Shields. Shields, we're right there with you at Rushmore Crossing in Rapid City.
And 200, 2 and a quarter, 2 to the bid, 1 bomb, 50, want to get 250 here, no 75, 275 now, 3.
Hi, folks. Kevin McPherson Auction Company. We can turn your property to cash. We can sell your personal property and your real estate at auction. A family business for 64 years and counting. We've sold several millions of dollars in property over the years. We're happy to consult with you on your auction plans. Let our selling experience work for you. Call McPherson Auction, 605-348-1369. Visit us on our web at McPhersonAuction.com.
Chatting with Brian at Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail. Let's make sure your vehicle is ready to handle the warm months ahead. Being a AAA and ASE certified shop, I know you guys are well equipped to do just that. Justin and our techs have all the experience you need in diagnosing and repairing whatever may be ailing your vehicle. And if finances are tight for customers, you can help there? Yes, we can. We offer the AutoPass card, which has really been a huge help for people who are in dire need of repairs. Call us with any questions on this program, or you can get an answer in minutes right from our homepage at anytime.com. Just click the AutoPass Apply Now button. What a great option for those who have repairs that just can't wait. Absolutely. It's been a fantastic opportunity for many people. Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail, everybody. The place to trust. Your complete AAA and ASE certified automotive repair specialist. See anytimeanytime.com and at the corner of Highway 79 and East Minnesota.
Anytime Auto Sales.
You're listening to The Nate Brown Show, also streaming right now on X. Follow us and watch the show live at Nate Brown Show.
We've been packed tonight. Good stuff across the board on South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Glad you're a part of it. The Nate Brown Show live, Fox Sports Radio. Remember, you can stream us on X every day at Nate Brown Show. Follow us on X. Watch the show live on your phone at Nate Brown Show. So you've got us. Follow us, and you're good. Also, The Nate Brown Show YouTube channel. Subscribe, and you've got the show live there and archived. Every show, The Nate Brown Show on YouTube. Appreciate you subscribing. Jake Sorensen is on tonight from Lincoln, Nebraska, 93.7 The Ticket. He's on in the mornings. He's up early, and then he can golf the rest of the day. You didn't hear that from me. Jake Sorensen talking Huskers, man. How are you?
Good, Nate, and great to see you this past weekend in the Black Hills. It was a wonderful trip, and it was good to see your studio out there.
I love you popping by, man. That was good stuff. So now we can do this even more. You know where I'm talking to you from, so we're all connected.
I do.
I got to ask you about Huskers here. I want to get into this right away. It's Big Ten Media Days, and I started my show with it, and I think it's okay. And some people have pushed back saying, well, this is just unrealistic. And it's Dylan Raiola when he was asked, what are the expectations for you and the season? National championship. National championship. I think it's okay. What's the read with you?
What are you supposed to say? I mean, right now you've got a 12-team playoff, and, Indiana last year was a playoff team. And if you ask Kurt Signetti or, last year Curtis Rourke what their goals were probably to win the title. So if Indiana can say that and all these teams making the playoff can, I mean, I guess if you want to rephrase it, you should have said we want to make the playoff and see what happens there. He did say at the end of that sentence that, obviously it's not a failure if they don't win at all, but I don't know what you're supposed to say. The goal every year for every team is to do as best you can and win the title. So I don't sit here and, we did the show this morning, played the audio, and it wasn't a huge pushback on Dylan saying that. So if your goals aren't to be the best you can be and push for a title, then what's the point of playing football, especially in a Power 4 school with the power of the Big Ten? I have no issue with this comment at all.
Okay, I'm with you on that. I said I'm good with it. Maybe it's bringing said something nobody said down there for a long time. I want to know what percentage of Husker fans believe what he just said. That was my question of the day. I threw it out to my audience today. Mm-hmm. What percentage of Husker fans actually believe what he just said? 0?
Well, I mean, very minimal. I mean, you get the illusion, the fans that believe they'll be as good as they can every year. But I mean, how many fans, Nate? I go back to Indiana, how many fans of Indiana before last season would have told you that they thought they could be a playoff team? The answer is going to be about 1%. So you never know, especially in a 12-team playoff. And if Nebraska, we keep pointing out, Nebraska's schedule is not tough. They have a tough road game in the middle of November at Penn State, and otherwise it's a favorable schedule. If they get past Cincinnati game 1 in Kansas City, then they should be 3-0. Then they have Michigan, who is not overly scary, in Lincoln, to maybe be 4-0. A bye week. Michigan State at home was not scary. Then 2 road games at Maryland, Minnesota, which aren't easy, but they're not scary. And then USC and Iowa and Penn State in November. So the schedule, you're not playing Oregon, you're not playing Ohio State. You don't have an overly difficult not a shot to Cincinnati, but you don't have an Alabama in non-conference. If you're scared of going 9-3 and being in the playoff conversation, then we, the fans, are part of the problem with Nebraska right now.
Okay, it's interesting. I've talked to you about this. Expectations. Okay, every year I've had you on. Expectations. Yep. Do you feel as good as you have in a long time?
I do, and I feel like we talked last week when I saw you in person that it's going to be rough replacing guys like Nash Hutmacher on the defensive line from Chamberlain area and Ty Robinson and Jamari Butler. But if these guys that they have on the roster, like Riley Van Poppel and Elijah Judy, can be just even okay, not elite but okay, I think they've got a great back seven. I think they've got a really good linebacking core. Willis McGahee Jr., Vincent Shavers, Marquise Watson Trent, and the defensive backs are solid too. So if that defensive line is just even adequate or above adequate, this team should be good. Really good. With that schedule, it's not tough. Dylan should be a lot better this year. The running back situation is not ideal, with Emmett Johnson being the only guy with experience there. And he's not a great back. He's fine. But you love the receivers coming in with Dane Key from Kentucky and Nazai Hunter from Cal, and you have Ja'Cory Barney back at receiver from last year. So on paper, again, that's Nebraska's problem in the past, is on paper it's not worked out always. But on paper, this team should win 8 or 9 games this year. They really should.
Got a listener text coming in. We have Jake Sorensen on tonight, 93.7 The Tickets. His station does a morning show out of Lincoln, a Husker alum as well. Listener text coming in saying Dylan should have just said we're going to show up and play. You don't say national championship.
Yeah, I mean, everyone has their own opinion. I didn't, again, we asked the same question this morning in the show, and nobody sat back and said, well, whatever, Dylan, rolled their eyes. I mean, like I said before, if you don't have expectations to be the best you can be, especially with the schedule that's gettable, and knowing that a team like Indiana last year made the playoffs in the first year of Cignetti, a team that has been terrible forever, then what's the point of playing these games? I still have no problem with his comments. It wasn't said like at a podium or, that was supposed to be a bulletin board material somewhere. It was just him offering up his goals. And what's wrong with that for goals?
Okay, I just saw this from The Athletic, Jake. Nebraska, they were going through what are the most valuable college football brands. Like if you had a private equity company and had all this money, who should you invest in? And they're doing the best. Ratings, revenue, brand, exposure, the whole thing. Nebraska comes in at number 17. So they're top 20 as far as most valuable college football brands. What do you say to that?
Well, I remember back when Bo was still here, Bo Pelini, and he was asked the same question back in about 2012, 2013. He says, the N still sells. The N is still a big brand, and that was before this demise of 10 years of just kind of awful football and just falling apart. But, the N does still sell. Nebraska gets decent recruiting. They still do well in the portal. They still have a huge fan base that shows up for football games at home and away games. I mean, yeah, it's a valuable brand, and I think that NIL has certainly been good for Nebraska. It's helped them get some players they wouldn't have got otherwise. But they need to start winning. If Nebraska were to win 9 or 10 games this year, and maybe sneak in the playoff, that helps get their brand back to where it needs to be. But if they win 8 games, miss the playoff, that's still a step in the right direction. So I think the brand is still very strong, and it shows up by Nate, the fact that this fan base just continues to show up week after week after year at these home games, and they travel very well also.
Yeah, I'll tell you. Here's what I say, Jake. I'll let you run with this. If they do this expansion to 16 teams, the college football playoffs to 16, and they do automatic 4 bids to the Big Ten, if they work on that deal, Nebraska should be in that mix every year, right? A 4-team year.
Yeah, it all depends on the schedule. I mean, and you saw, I keep bringing up Indiana. I hate to do that, but Indiana, if you probably mentioned this on the show, it has dodged, a series against Virginia home and home because the strength of schedule doesn't really matter. It's all about wins and losses. So they're saying, let's give us the most easy non-con schedule possible and hope the conference play goes our way, and this year it should be going their way. But for Nebraska, I mean, it for that top 4, it depends on who they're playing. Like this year, top 4 should be a goal. It should be. I mean, Illinois is picked on the media poll top 4.
Yeah.
That team last year beat you in overtime in Lincoln. Like, they won 10 games. Nebraska was every bit as decent as Illinois. They just couldn't close out close games, which does matter. You got to have great talent to do that, but like they're not far behind Illinois, and so yeah, in the 14 playoff, yeah, they should have a chance, but it all depends on, are you playing at Ohio State and Penn State and Oregon those years? If not, great chance. If so, probably difficult.
Jake Sorensen on tonight. He was in studio, just on a little vacation, and now we got him working on the Pizza Ranch studio hotline. He's with 93.7 The Ticket. Has a great show in the morning down there with the guys. Jake, appreciate you, man. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Nate.
Appreciate it. Jake Sorensen talking Huskers. He does that every morning. 93.7 The Ticket out of Lincoln. 937 Jake Sorensen on X. Who's hot and who's not? Our loyal listener, Chris, making my list. Huh?
This is South Dakota's sports talk show.
How do you make a buffet day even better? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade is your place for good food and good times. Won the big game? Make it a play day. Aced your test? Make it a play day. Just need to get out of the house? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade has all your favorites and all kinds of fun. So bring your family, bring your friends, bring your team. For good food and good times, make it a buffet day and a play day at the Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade.
Whatever's on your to-do list, Fleet Farm's got the goods. Top brands at prices that will not be beat. This week, get a free $20 gift card with the purchase of $100 in Ariat clothing or footwear. 12 packs of Anchor Hawking pint canning jars with regular mouth are just $7.99. And grab 20-pound bags of KT Woodlands bird food for only $6.99. Stop in for these sale items and more at your local Fleet Farm. And check out all our weekly deals at fleetfarm.com.
At Black Hills Federal Credit Union, we are committed to improving the lives of our members and bettering our communities. As your community credit union, we're here to get to know you and your unique needs. From extended service hours to the newest technology, we have you covered. Stop by any location to get started or text or call 605-718-1818. BHFCU is member-owned, not-for-profit, and federally insured by the NCUA.
As a business owner now, Black Hills Tire has an interesting motto: one car, one customer, one opportunity at a time.
We just want to portray that every person that comes in, we're going to give you our undivided attention. You're not a number to us.
Every single individual customer, every single individual thing we do for that customer is what makes us.
Yeah.
Every time you come into our store, this time, next time, the time after that, every single one was an individual chance for us to earn your trust. Check us out at blackhillstire.com.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. A severe thunderstorm watch continues until 8 p.m. tonight. Severe storms likely tonight, otherwise cloudy skies expected. Lows level off around 60. Northwesterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Slight chance of thunderstorms tomorrow. Daytime highs approaching 83. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently 73.
When you combine Western South Dakota's largest selection with low prices, it's easy to see why more people choose Mr. Liquor in Rapid City. Their summer specials include your choice of Bud, Bud Light, Coors Light, or Coors Banquet Beer, just $12.49 for a 12-pack. Save big on Smirnoff Vodka, now only $11.49 for a $7.50. Or take $5 off 750s of Jefferson Bourbon, now $29.99. Price is good at the new Mr. Liquor 2 off Cantron Boulevard next to Walmart, or the original Mr. Liquor on the corner of West Chicago and Sturgis Road in Rapid City.
The doctors and staff at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center have provided expert bone, joint, and muscle care to patients in the Black Hills area since 1976. Whether you're an elite athlete, a weekend warrior, or just want to continue your active lifestyle, the orthopedic experts at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center will help you stay in the game. Don't let an injury keep you from doing the things you love. Trust the team at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center, specializing in what moves you. Learn more at bhosc.com.
Live callers, big-time interviews, and breaking sports news. This is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown.
All right, let's do this. Who's hot and who's not on the Nate Brown Show, brought to you every night by the Pizza Ranch, home of everyone's favorite buffet. Drop by East 10th Street, Sioux Falls, Brandon, and 2 locations in Rapid City at the Pizza Ranch tonight. Who's hot category going to go to Justin Verlander. Justin Verlander's 42 years old. He has pitched in 16 games for the San Francisco Giants and doesn't have a win. But Justin Verlander, our friend Ben Verlander, his brother, Justin Verlander gets his first win today for the Giants. It was the longest streak in Giants history. 16 games starting pitching with no win, and Verlander got it today. In our Pizza Ranch Who's Not category, you know our loyal listener Chris from 5 Questions from Chris. His favorite team is the Detroit Tigers. The Tigers got swept by the Pittsburgh Pirates. Chris, the Pirates? They have 42 wins. The Pirates are bad. The Tigers have lost 9 out of their last 10. Chris, I never thought you'd be in my Who's Not. Well, I guess it's your team in my Who's Not. Better luck next time. Thanks for listening to the Nate Brown Show. The podcast going up right now. See you back here tomorrow.
It's the geometry teacher who mans the ticket window.